2023 was the start of so many things for me. One of them was planning. I just never planned anything. I never set goals. I never tried, okay, because I was so scared that I would disappoint myself, and so I just never did it. But this time I did. And so I want us to reflect. I want us to talk about the 12 lessons that I learned in 2023, and it's going to be based on each month of the year. So a different lesson that I learned each month based on whatever it was that was actually happening. So obviously I'll give you some context on what is happening so that you understand where this lesson is coming from. Now, obviously, before I move on, let me know in the comments one lesson that you learned from 2023, something that you're carrying over to 2024, because hey, it was a very hard lesson. Lesson number 1 is, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Now, this did not come easy. Why? Because all the other years I did not plan. I didn't create a vision board. I did not write down my goals. Like I said, I've always been very afraid of having expectations and then disappointing myself by not being able to keep up with those expectations, and it happens so many times. So I stopped doing it. I stopped writing goals. I stopped having a vision board. But this year I was like, you know what, let's try this again. Let's try to plan, because I feel like planning is going to help, especially because of the fact that I have a business now, so I need to plan my stuff. So yeah, I had a vision board that I created. I had one on my laptop, and then sometime during like the middle or like coming to the end of the year, I created another one, and I have that as my wallpaper. But I have that for me to be able to look at it and be like, okay, I did this, okay, I did that. Obviously, unlike other people who are going to come to you and say that, oh my word, I ticked off everything. No, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't tick off everything from that vision board. I ticked off some things. Lesson 2 is, confidence is built on promises you keep to yourself. This is something that took far too long for me to actually realize. The reason why I finally clicked was when I went out on Valentine's Day. So on a solo date. I went on a solo date. I have always been spending Valentine's Day alone, and I kept on telling myself I'm gonna go on a solo date for many years, but I just didn't have it in me. So like on the day or something, like I'd postpone and be like, no, let's not go, like let's not do that. But this time I was like, you know what, I'm going on a solo date. Like I'm dead ass about this. Like I'm doing this. I'm going on a solo date. I'm gonna go eat out. I'll get ice cream, I'll get dessert or something. And then yeah, I did that, and I bought myself flowers for the first time. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I bought myself flowers. I was so happy. I came back. We had a movie night with my little brothers. It was an exciting time. I genuinely enjoyed my Valentine's Day this time, and it was because I kept a promise to myself, and I was trying to establish that confidence. I'd broken promises to myself so many times that I started losing trust in myself. Like I'd say something and be like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. Like we don't do it. Like you just say you're gonna do this, but you never do it. So I was trying to like work against that, because I don't want to be a flaky person. I don't want to be someone who just like, you know, says they're going to do something and they don't do it. I already don't like people who do that. So why would I do that to myself? Lesson number 3 is, you're not alone even when you feel like you are. This hit hard in March because I had such a terrible mental breakdown. And I think it was the first time I ever documented one. I'm still not very proud of that moment. I was crying. I was trying so hard to not cry. I was not telling people that like I just feel like everything's falling apart. I'm feeling behind. I don't know what I'm doing in my life. I'm having a really hard time. And so I posted it, and I was, you know, it was a 4 minutes long video, and I was telling people how I was feeling and so on. And surprisingly enough, I got so many DMs from people, and they're like, look, you're not alone. Like you're not dealing with this alone. We also have this problem. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with this. I'm having a hard time here and so on. And I feel like me doing that opened that up as well, so that I now knew how other people were feeling, which made it easier for me to like feel better, because I was like, okay, so this is not a me thing. It's a thing. Lesson number 4 is, life is meant to be lived, not watched. Now, for all my people that are always consuming a lot of content but not really doing much, in other words, they don't get out of the house. I used to be. I refuse to identify as someone who doesn't get out of the house anymore. I used to be the person who would stay in my room the whole time. Like when I say stay in my room, I mean I don't even get out of my room. I don't go to the yard. Nothing. I'm not getting out of my room. So I got to a point where I was like, nah, this is too much. Like, we're overdoing this. I want to be a person that goes out on solo dates, that travels and so on. So now if I have to have a hard time with, like, you know, getting myself to get out of my room, that's not gonna work. Like, we need to fix that up very quickly. So I started getting out more. Like, I started going on solo dates. I started meeting up with friends. I started, you know, incorporating small things that will get me to get out of the house. I started going on walks. So that helped me with getting out of the house. So please, you need to be enjoying your life. You need to be living your life instead of just watching other people live their dream lives. And I know this because I kind of do it as well, where you're watching people living this flashy life, luxury life and all that stuff. It's good if you're looking at it for inspiration, but then if you're looking at it and kind of just like you look at it and that's kind of it, like, and then you feel sorry for yourself, then it's useless. Like, why are you watching that? It's very useless to you. So please don't just watch other people live their best life while you are just kind of wasting yours away. Do something about it. You want a life that looks like that? Try to figure out how they do it. A lot of the times, like with people on social media, they love sharing how they got to where they are. So you're always going to get the story. Especially if it's on YouTube, you're going to get the background story of how someone got to where they are. So go and listen to whatever it is that they did and try it out yourself as well. Lesson number 5 is money is a tool that is meant to create memories. Now, obviously there's a nuance to this. Don't just now go around spending money saying you're making memories. Don't misquote me. But what I am saying is that I think we have this hustle in us. Oh my word, I'm grinding, I'm hustling and all that, but you don't even make time to like enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like, you're working so much, but like you're not enjoying it. Like, you're not buying yourself things, you're not, you know, going out or like, you know, buying your loved ones things. This year, for the first time, I actually had enough money to buy my mom a purse, and that for me like was a highlight for the year, because I don't work. I'm currently still a college student. My business made enough for me to be able to buy my mom a purse that we usually deemed expensive. Like, she would never go in a store and like pick it out herself. So when I think it was Mother's Day that came, I was like, okay, let's go buy a purse. And the fact that I had enough to actually be able to buy it is I feel pride just thinking about it. And as someone who barely ever gives myself credit for things, I think that's the one thing I keep reminding myself of. Like, bruh, you did this, you did that. Stop holding on to the money that you're making. You're making money so that you can actually provide a better life for the people that you love and for yourself. But now, if your life seems to just be deteriorating, and the money that you're making, you're not spending, and you're not saving, you're not investing, you're not doing anything. Just do something with the money. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a profitable thing. It doesn't have to be, you know, an investment or something. Like, for me, that purse is an investment. It's something I look at and I'm like, damn, I did that. It's something that I can always look at and be like, damn, that's me. So for me, like, it gives me pride and joy to know that I bought that. So it's an investment to me. Lesson 6 is distractions are not the solution. Now, this is coming from a time when I was using K-dramas, C-dramas, Asian dramas basically as an escape. I didn't want to acknowledge what I was feeling, and that like I was not okay. So I kept on watching dramas as an escape, and obviously it didn't work out for long. It didn't go very well. When I crashed bad. It was so terrible. But what I'm saying is, if you're distracting yourself right now, just know it's not gonna last. It's really not. And when you crash, you're gonna crash so bad because you've been avoiding every single thing that you're feeling. Feel the feelings. Okay, give yourself a chance to feel the feelings. You need to feel them to be able to acknowledge them and to actually work towards fixing it. Obviously, you can't like fix it like that, but like, to be able to get past it, you need to acknowledge it. You need to go through it, but you don't want to go through it because you are avoiding. And you're using dramas as an excuse. Please, if you're like me, stop with the dramas. Okay, give them a break. They're tired. Lesson 7: seasonal depression is a thing. It is very much real, so be prepared. Okay, so I did not know about seasonal depression before like 2022. I think that's when 2022 was when it was like the first year officially of me like like starting my business and all of that. And something I've come to realize is that when you start a business, everything tests you. Yeah, it's like everything just like, ooh, things you didn't know bothered you. Suddenly you are seeing what's hi Kanti, this thing bothers me. Like I have this problem. You start seeing problems you did not know you had. Because the thing is about starting a business, it forces you to work on yourself. It forces you to start improving yourself in some way. And that's hard. That is scary. Last year I had a hard time around like July, August, same time. It's around my birthday month that I struggle, like very close to my birthday month. And that's a whole other topic. But anyway, so like close to my birthday month, it becomes shaky. So it's a thing. I've come to realize that it's a thing, and unless I do something to counter it, it's going to keep happening every single year, and I don't want that to happen. I want to enjoy my birthday. I want to enjoy my birthday month. Okay, seasonal depression is real because during that time when it happens, it's cold, it's not a nice weather, like, which then gets us into lesson 8. Take time away if you have to now listen. Okay, I struggle to take time off, and that burns me out so many times because it takes me like getting to a point where now I can't do anything to finally stop working, which is terrible, obviously. Like, why would I do that? But I still do it. So take time off. If you know that you really need time off, please take time off. It had gotten so bad for me that I was struggling to get out of bed. I was genuinely struggling. When you're at a position like that, if you need to be alone, if you need to isolate yourself, if you need to do whatever it is that you need to do to feel better, to be better, if you need to like call your friends every single day, then do so. If you need time to think on your own and like, you know, away from everyone, do so. Because I kind of isolated myself during that time, and I was just like dealing with this on my own. Not because I don't have friends that care, but because I felt like I had to deal with this on my own because I can't depend on them every single time. So do what you need to do. Like, take time off, rest, okay, sleep if you have to, like sleep, like literally sleep, rest, because you are tired, and tired mentally, which is even worse, because like, how do you fix up like mental exhaustion? Like you're forced to relax, because like even when you sleep and you wake up tired. That's a sign. Like, please rest. Lesson number 9 is quitting is not failure. Now, context for this. I started a keto diet. I think it was 26th of July 2023. And so during that time, I did it for a month until like 26 August. And then I took some time off. I needed time to recover from the diet itself because it was so strenuous, and it was just too much, because like my mood was bad. I was just very irritable. I just didn't want to do anything anymore. Like I was out of it. And you know what, I need a break from this. I need a break from like the keto diet and all of this stuff, because it's not working. I'm not feeling okay, and I feel like it's worsening the already there situation. So I took time off. And all I'm saying is, just because you quit, or you're not took time off, like I let it go for some time. I did end up going back, but we'll tell the story just now. All I'm saying is, if you quit, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that you could just be recognizing that what you thought you wanted, you actually don't want it. Or that, you know, the grass is not greener on the other side. You just don't like it, honestly. So you're going to look for something else, and you're allowed to experiment and try things until you figure out what you actually want. That is allowed. And I hate that we keep feeling like we've lost that option. That option is there. Please, you have that option. Make use of it. Lesson number 10, expect a high after every low. You see, the thing is, when we are in a very low place, like it gets so bad that you feel like you're never going to be able to get out of this hole, like this dark hole. But the thing is, you will. And when you get out, there's going to be a very high, like really high. So give yourself that opportunity, give yourself that chance to experience the high. Even when you're in a low place, you're in a deep dark hole and you feel like you can't escape, please remember that there is a high that you're going to get to. You're going to get to a high position where you're going to be so happy and you're going to be so content. You're going to be so content in whatever form that you want it to be. Not be able to get there if now, you know, you're now trying to unalive yourself. Like, let's not do that, okay? Let's try by all means not to do that. It's like, you might just, you know, the attempt might just end up being an attempt and a successful attempt at that. So let's avoid stuff like that, okay? Avoid certain situations. Remember that even if it gets bad, it's not as bad as you think it is. Let me say that. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's going to be fixable in some way, shape, or form. Lesson number 11 is healing is not linear. It's literally what we're talking about with the high and the low. You're going to have a low. You're going to have a high. That's okay. Please understand that when you're trying to heal, that this is exactly what happens. Before, you are ignoring, you're distracting yourself and so on, so you're not feeling the feelings. So you chilled, you're like, everything's okay. But the truth is, you're just bottling it up until like you explode. And when you explode, everything just collapses because you don't know how to deal with this. But then when you're like, okay, let me work on myself, let me start improving myself and like, you know, fixing this, like fixing myself and my mental health, what happens is you're trying to heal yourself. So you acknowledge your feelings, you acknowledge the trauma and so on. And once you acknowledge it, you just don't have control over your emotions. You feel like you're like having a mental breakdown every single time. You're crying, you're not okay, and so on. But it's you acknowledging it. That is you, you know, stepping into your healing phase. You're trying to heal yourself, and that's okay. Cry, do whatever you need to do in order to heal. But give yourself that opportunity. Understand that it's not going to be upwards and forwards. You're going to sleep, nyana, you know, it's going to go down, nyana, you know, just expect that. Expect that that's going to happen, because it will. It really will. Lesson number 12, it will always work out. Now, this is coming from me, okay? It works out. Let me tell you now, like, no matter how bad, like, it had gotten so bad for me sometime during the thing of the year, so bad that I thought I was not going to be able to make it through this year. And now looking back, it's fine. Like, everything that I thought was so big that I couldn't get past it ended up being not being that big of a deal. Imagined it far worse than when like I had to actually deal with it and like face it face first. Like, you know, not face first, face to face, men to men. It wasn't as scary or as bad as I thought it was. So what I'm saying is, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and then there's going to be a dark time again, and then you wait for the you keep walking towards the light at the end of the tunnel. That's how it is. But understand that it's going to get better. You will get to a point where things are good. But if you are not there anymore, you'll never get to see that point. So that's why I keep emphasizing that you need to still be here. Like, so keep working towards it. Do what you need to do in order to stay around. And remember that you're not the only one that's going through whatever it is that you're going through. This ended up being a mental health thing, but the year was not easy at all. But I learned so much, as you can see, from 2023. And I'm so glad that I made it out. Like, 2023 is over. We're in 2024. Things are looking good. Things are nice now, you know. So I'm happy. I'm glad for that.